Commercials are a very common way to inform audiences watching TV about their many brands and products. Many corporations use advertising to help spread knowledge of the various brands and products and get lots of profit. They use many tactics and ways to get as much attention and money from their ads as possible. PSAs are another kind of advertisement, but are designed to warn people of something harmful or doing something harmful. For the most part, companies do a great job spreading the word and gaining positive buzz for their business. Sometimes, however, they will fail to get their message across and create commercials and PSAs that are bizarre, strange, confusing, and just disturbing. These are the top 10 scariest commercials and PSAs ever made. Let's begin. Starting off this list is a PSA not too disturbing, but rather just shocking and tragic. Back in 2011, the Centers for Disease Control put out a PSA as part of their anti-smoking campaign, Tips from Former Smokers. It stars a woman named Terry Hall, who at the time had been smoking since high school and became addicted to the point of smoking 2 packs per day. She soon developed oral and throat cancer and had to have her voice box taken out. The PSA first shows a picture of her when she was 20 years old. It then reveals what she looks like now, with her physical appearance completely altered and talking through a throatback device, regretting ever picking up and smoking a cigarette. The ad ends with it revealing Terry died just 2 years later at 53. While the ad is certainly moving and effective, it really shows how fast smoking can hinder and ruin your life if you do it regularly.
I wish I'd never seen a cigarette in my entire life. I truly do. I wish I'd never ever seen one. Much less picked it up and smoked it.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Little Baby's Ice Cream. One of the most infamous series of creepy commercials you can find. Little Baby's Ice Cream was an ice cream company founded in 2011 in Philadelphia and was closed in 2019. Beginning in 2012, they released a series of unsettling and off-putting commercials, mostly starring a human made completely of ice cream. The most famous of these is said person made of ice cream consuming himself with a spoon, as the narrator talks over-enthusiastically about the good quality of their ice cream and how it somehow improves your overall life. Another stars the same person covered in ice cream now about to consume himself in a cone, as a cycle starts with other identical people about to consume the smaller cones, and then it ends with a human tongue trying to lick one of the cones. The voiceover again creepily says how they love liquors throughout it all. Despite these bizarre ads obviously getting buzz for their business, it rightfully isn't the good kind that they were hoping for. Between the person not blinking throughout the commercials, the eerie ice cream tune in the background, and weird narration, these commercials are unforgettable in every way.
There's good reason for my glistening skin, and how I shine, and how my pores are so clean and clear. I eat Little Baby's ice cream. It keeps me young. It keeps me light on my feet. I spring from activity to activity. I love my job. I love my life. When you eat Little Baby's ice cream, you'll wink and nod and hug and high-five each other with great enthusiasm. This is a special time. Go ahead and lick something. We lick you very much. If you want to lick something, lick us. We love to lick. We lick to love. We are love lickers. Little Baby's ice cream. Ice cream is a feeling.
The Kaffee Screamer commercials. Kaffee is a German coffee company and well known for their ads back in 2004 to 2005. These commercials featured peaceful scenery and landscapes to start off, and then was interrupted by a screaming monster or creature suddenly jumping in front of the camera, creating a jump scare. The most famous of these, the one playing in the background right now, was one of the first viral videos ever uploaded to YouTube. One can assume that the jump scare was meant to stimulate the feeling of your heart when you drink too much caffeine. With that and the shock value of these ads, any attempt at a message would fail to get through to the viewer. The Spirit of Dark and Lonely Water PSA. Released all the way back in 1973 by the Central Office of Information in the UK, this popular PSA featured the haunting voice of Donald Pleasance as a personification of the dark and lonely water. The ad is about him threatening to punish children and others for being reckless when around water, while showing various examples of children suffering from acting careless and daring in the vicinity of water as the spirit taunts them and ultimately gives up on them. While this ad attempts to get its point across on advising children to be more careful when around water, its spooky and frightening nature worked too well and resulted in children being afraid to go anywhere near water.
I am the spirit of dark and lonely water, ready to trap the unwary, the show-off, the fool. And this is the kind of place you'd expect to find me.
The Grim Reaper AIDS PSA. Released during the 1980s HIV and AIDS epidemic in 1987, this Australian ad, narrated by John Stanton, featured the Grim Reaper rolling a bowling ball and knocking down rows of people like bowling pins. The voiceover explains how anybody can be affected with AIDS, not just gay people. It's meant to signify AIDS killing off those rows of people one by one. The PSA seemed to be successful in raising awareness of the threat of AIDS with the frightening and effective nature of the ad. However, the ad gained criticism for the confusion and fear of whether the Grim Reaper was meant to represent gays spreading the disease to others. Nonetheless, it at least made people see the bigger picture of AIDS.
At first, only gays and IV drug users were being killed by AIDS. But now we know every one of us could be devastated by it. The fact is, over 50,000 men, women, and children now carry the AIDS virus. That in 3 years, nearly 2,000 of us will be dead. That if not stopped, it could kill more Australians than World War II. But AIDS can be stopped, and you can help stop it. If you have sex, have just one safe partner, or always use condoms. Always.
The Japanese Kleenex commercial. One of the scariest commercials of all time. This ad that debuted in 1986 in Japan stars a woman and baby sitting on a bed of hay with a dark red background as a soothing but admittedly eerie song plays in the background. The woman then picks up a tissue and has it blow away in the wind as the baby has no reaction to it all. This commercial has sparked numerous theories and myths. The most known theory is that anyone who watches this commercial is immediately cursed and will die, which is evidently not true. Another myth to the ad is that everyone who worked on the commercial died soon after filming it, which is again not true. The commercial still remains a creepy ad to watch late at night with no lights on.
It's a fine day, people open windows, they leave their houses just for a short while. They walk by the grass and they look look at the grass, they look at the sky. It's going to be a fine night tonight. It's going to be a fine day tomorrow.
クリネックスティッシュです。
Above the Influence problem ad. While technically considered an unofficial ad by the company, this ad is decently popular and is unnerving enough to where I feel it deserves to be on this list. Made by the anti-drug campaign called Above the Influence, this commercial starts with a boy walking through his school halls with a slug-like creature attached to his leg. He does everyday activities with others looking confused and wary of the creature on his leg. The commercial ends with presumably one of his friends telling the others that someone has got to say something about the creature. There's been many common theories about the meaning of this ad, with the most accepted one being the slug stuck on his leg, signifying suffering from an obvious drug problem given the company's goal. With the creepy face of the creature and eerie music, this ad definitely is sure to creep someone out.
Somebody has to say something.
Fragile Childhood Monsters PSA. One of the most memorable disturbing PSAs, Fragile Childhood is an organization aimed to fight alcohol and substance abuse. Released in 2012, their PSA starts with different children all looking shocked and unsettled by something off camera. As the commercial goes on, it is slowly revealed that they are looking at these horrifying creatures and deformed-looking humans that are supposed to represent their parents, with some showing small signs of abuse. While the disturbing and chilling imagery may cause viewers to miss the ad's message, it is certainly terrifying and effective all around. Sandy Hook Promise ad. Known for the horrible school shooting back in 2012, Sandy Hook has created a non-profit organization called Sandy Hook Promise, which makes it their goal to prevent gun violence. They released this ad in 2019, which starts off as a typical positive and cheerful back-to-school ad, with the students showing off their new school supplies for the year. As the commercial progresses, however, a school shooting occurs as the students describe about various school supplies being used for survival. The PSA ends with possibly the most bone-chilling ending I've ever seen for a commercial. The commercial certainly does a great job of clearly painting a picture of their overall message.
Mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
And I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
Lastly, the Japanese Utaway Tire commercial. Considered to be the scariest PSA of all time, this commercial, released by Utaway Tires, a tire company, back in 2013, starts off with an actual health warning, advising people from watching the commercial if they have any health problems. This perfectly sets the mood for the ad, as the commercial officially begins with a car driving down a snowy, dark winter night. The two people driving the car see a female figure in the road and stop. Suddenly, a jump cuts to the figure on their windshield and creates a surprisingly effective jump scare. It ends with the two people panicking and backing away, and then it cuts to the figure holding a laptop with a Japanese text translating to, "Have you put your winter tires on?" The ad was meant to warn people from driving down snowy and icy roads without having proper winter tires. The message, however, gets completely lost in the startling jump scare and eerily snowy atmosphere. And that's gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want me to keep doing these kinds of videos, please let me know and leave some suggestions down below.